Alle Mann auf Gefechtsstation!
Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here, with one hell of a round in everyone's favorite Tier VIII German battleship, the Bismarck. Now, this is the round that I was playing in order to get background footage for Monday's Top 5 Ships That Need Buffs video. And, of course, when I'm making a video about how out of meta the Bismarck is and how much it needs some assistance from the devs, I get a round like this. A round that is more than good enough and definitely entertaining enough to have its own video. And you're going to want to stick around for this one. So, the Bismarck, Tier VIII German Techline battleship, 8 15-inch guns, a whole host of secondaries. Now, the secondaries on the Bismarck are not the 128s, I was supposed to say 125s. The 128mm secondary guns that you get on the GK and the Preußen, so they do not pin 32mm of armor. They're mostly 105s, but she does have the, what are they, 150s, 155s, that are more than capable enough of pinning 32. Now, at Tier 8 itself, when you're top tier, doesn't really matter too much, because even with the 105s, with the 26mm of HE pin you get out of those, you can definitely take care of most of the cruisers and destroyers you're going to come across. Battleships, a bit of a different story. But when you get up tier to Tier 10, it kind of helps to have IFHE. Now, on the commander build that I'm running right now, I do have Lucians on my Bismarck, as you can see from his flag. I don't have IFHE because Lucians primarily sits on either my GK or my German battle cruisers. No, sorry, not my German battle cruisers, my GK or the other German battleships that can pin 32mm of armor with their secondary, so don't have IFHE on them. But again, this is a video that's, well, a background match. It's growing in a video that's talking about how the Bismarck needs to be buffed, and +2, it's only going to be on screen for like 3 or 4 minutes. It's not going to be the primary focus of the video, so I didn't feel like spending the Commander XP or the doubloons to respec Lucians for the Bismarck. And this is a Tier 10 game. It's the Pommern right there, and if you look over on the right side of the map, you'll see there's a GK, Petropavlovsk, a bunch of other Tier 10 ships. Pretty much a worst case scenario for a Tier 8 battleship, let alone the Bismarck. Now, the Bismarck herself, like I said in Monday's video, when you can get into those close-in engagements, get the secondaries going, and keep them going, she does fairly well. But that doesn't really happen too much in Tier 8 games, let alone in Tier 10 games, and we just lost our Ostergotland. And we just lost our Shimakaze, our Tier 10 destroyer. So now we're down a Tier 10 and a Tier 9 destroyer already. Right off the bat. Game's not looks like the game is not going too well already. That is a tongue twister for me for some reason. Alright, so I popped Hydro here because I saw that first set of torps, and sure enough, here comes the other set of torps. Slow it on down, crank the rudder hard over, and there we go. Thankfully, the Bismarck is a very maneuverable battleship, even going at 1/4 speed. Benson gets spotted, and there's a Des Moines doing Des Moines things and hugging the island, so we get secondaries going on the Benson. And this is a full secondary build on Lucians and on the Bismarck, full modules and everything. So we have the full secondary power available to us. So the secondaries get out to 11.5 kilometers, that is with the flag equipped, of course. And once you get 100 secondary hits in your ship, Lucians does pop his secondary skill, which gives you a 50% boost to the reload time of those secondaries. And Des Moines comes out, we give him the full broadside, only get 1 pin for 3,300 damage. Again, Des Moines, 15-inch guns, Tier 10 cruiser against German Tier 8 battleship. Yeah, not the fight you really want to pick, especially with a Des Moines with its AP, can easily chunk the crap out of your German battleship armor with that super heavy American AP. So thankfully, though, we do have a fair few friends over here at the ACAP. We have our Des Moines, our Z44, and our Z23, along with the Harlem, the Brandenburg, and Ismo behind us. Basically, I actually wound up on the side where, like, most of the friendly team goes, so I actually have support here, which normally doesn't happen to me whenever the game decides where I'm spawning in on. I'm normally on the side where players just decide they want to run away the second they see an enemy ship. But over here, you'll see what happens. So we are going up against Des Moines, Pommern, and a Bismarck at the moment. The eastern side is not doing too well at the moment. We're still down 2 destroyers there. Benson is down. We did manage to get him. And this enemy Bismarck is absolutely going gung-ho right down the middle. Now, if you look at the map, we have absolutely nobody in the middle. So we have essentially just handed them the middle and east side of the map, and there goes our Harlem as well. So now we're down 3 ships to their 1 ship. Doesn't look none too good at this point. Now, I want to keep pushing, but here's the problem. Pomeran's just the better brawler than the GK. She has torpedoes and 12, 15-inch guns. So I can't really push up being in a Tier 8 ship. Granted, this Bismarck player is pushing like his life doesn't matter, and we managed to get some overpins out of him. I was trying to aim for his upper belt, aimed a little bit too high, and all those shells went to his superstructure, unfortunately. And well, we got their Kitakaze, but their Petropavlovsk got our Venezia now. So now we're down 4 ships to enemy 2. They have a 200-point lead on us. It is not looking good at the moment. And this Bismarck's still just absolutely selling broadside. And man, look at that dispersion. That is some true German battleship dispersion. I think we got about 3,000 damage out of that as well. God, you gotta love it. You gotta absolutely love it. So if you look at the map too, the enemy team has completely swept over the eastern side of the map. Our submarine is apparently getting ran down by the enemy Amagi right now. Ohio is kiting for his life out east. And it's just our little group of 5 ships over here with Winisma way the hell out by the eye line that's probably going to be left standing here in a few moments. So the enemy team, I mean, at this point, they have map control. They can essentially just sit where they're at and they'll win. They have both caps. They have a double ship advantage over us at the moment. It's such a this island right here absolutely just cucks me. Wanted to absolutely blast the Des Moines there. Thought I was going to get to do it, and nope. And look, see what I mean by that super heavy American AP, cruiser AP, 5K strikes every just 5 seconds, 4 seconds. He's probably down to about 3 seconds now. Well, not 3 seconds, like 4 seconds and change with his adrenaline score. I'm probably getting close to 3 actually, depending upon his build too. All right, here comes the Pomeran. Now our Z-23 is being very, very smart and hugging that island. Now, keep in mind too. This Pomeran has Hydra up because I'm spotted. So he sees the Z-23 there. And, ooh, big hit there. I was trying to be a little bit too cheeky and get my secondaries in on the fight. And the Pomeran did the right thing and blocked my side. And here comes the Z-23 that the Pomeran knew was there. And he whiffs his torpedoes. He gets 1 strike with his torpedoes. And to the guy's credit, he goes guns blazing against the Pomeran. You know, he doesn't just accept his fate, does go down with a fight, and he gets torpedoed by the Pomeran. So I'm like, oh, well, crap now. I was really depending on that Z-23 to just, you know, blap the Pomeran out of existence with his torpedoes, but nope. And now I'm stuck in this very awkward situation where I have to face down a Pomeran. Now, thankfully, our Des Moines is absolutely putting in work with his AP, like we mentioned with the Des Moines AP earlier, and he gets the Pomeran. And speaking of Des Moines, there's their Des Moines. And now someone's in the cap with me. Taking our cap. And there he is. Z-52 gets popped up by my Hydro. Secondaries get a couple of shots. No, I'm sorry. That's that Bismarck the secondaries are still eager to get at. So we do have the Z-52 spotted here at the moment with our Hydro running. Again, another 10 seconds of spotting on him. Our Brandenburg and Ohio are down now. And now we are down to our 5 ships against, well, just a little over half of the enemy team. And one of them is our submarine that's currently about to get the Harlem, but I think he gets taken out here by the Petropavlovsk. Hey, Z-52, how you doing? Now, Z-52 did fire here, so he gets spotted for a little while longer, and before the storm can move in, secondaries are chewing in on him quite well at this moment. And oh, the friendly Isabel did get the Bismarck. There we go. Bismarck gets the Z-52. So now we're down to 4v4. I'm sorry, 4v5. We have 1 ship advantage at the moment. Now, keep in mind, too, we haven't even really left the A cap at this moment. We've just been sitting here defending this cap, and thankfully our team's managed to pick up some of the slack and get our scores, our ship count down to similar that of the enemy team. So Oh, there goes the U-190. I remember he got taken out by the Petropavlovsk, just didn't know when. So it's 4v4 now. They have 2 cruisers, one's a Petro and a Des Moines, and a DD. We have a DD, we have our Des Moines still alive, and our Isimo. And they have a GK. A relatively healthy GK. Because, well, they didn't meet much resistance over there, so that guy's at almost full health still. And we have an Isimo, myself, and the Bismarck against a bunch of Tier 10 ships, and their Tier 9 Z-44. So, yeah, let's see how this goes. Des Moines tries to depth charge the Z-44. The idea behind the dropping the depth charge planes on the enemy teams that you can kind of see where their AA's at, so you have an idea around where-ish the ship is at. It of course doesn't really spot them. It's kind of a general, like, yeah, he's kind of over there, so you know what you're getting yourself into. Des Moines gets spotted, but since the Cyclone has rolled in, we can't see him just yet, but now he's popped up 7.7 kilometers away from us, almost flat broadside, starts to turn before I can get my turrets around, and, yep, get 2 bounces on his main belt, but we do also overpin him. Now our secondaries are going on him when the Z-44 gets spotted, popping up right behind the Isimo. And I get my secondaries turned on him. I got my Hydra waiting to go once he gets concealed by a smoke screen. That way we'll be able to see exactly where he's at. But then he just guns it and starts rushing toward us. So I pop my Hydra anyway. And now we have a Z-44 that's, I'm assuming, rushing to torpedo us. Or if not, ram us. Because he has 19,000 health. That'll take about 20,000 of my health out if he does have the ramming flag equipped. So he's coming in at his full speed. He's going to use his final torpedo here. I'm turning at my secondaries on target. Put the ship in full reverse. And... look at that. I go 25 knots in reverse there for a second. Oh, boy. One of the secondary gunners absolutely earns his ration of schnapps for the evening there. GK, full health GK, charging at our Z-44. Our Z-44 manages to get a rack of torps off into him. Does take him down to about half health. Secondaries are blazing. This GK is, I'm assuming, hydroing the Des Moines, keeping him spotted. And for the time being, he is focused on not us, so that is perfectly fine with me. Now, keep in mind, too, only about 3 of the secondary guns, or 2 of the secondary turrets that can shoot at him right now are actually pinning him. The rest are maybe pinning his superstructure and starting fires every now and then, which we did get a fire started on him just then, and he still is burning because he uses damage con, I'm assuming, for the torpedoes that he ate from the Z-44. Now it's down to just myself and the Des Moines left. A Tier 8 battleship and a Tier 10 cruiser. And speaking of depth charges, Des Moines once again using the depth charges to get a gist of where we're at. It's like the GK fire is, yep, they're engaging each other once again. And that fire is still burning on the GK at this moment. And there we go. We got the GK with that one fire that we set. Alright, so now we have 2 enemy ships left on their team. Keep in mind, too, all they have to do to win at this moment is run. Run and defend. With the Petro and the Des Moines and the speed advantage they have over our ships, all they have to do is run. By speed advantage, I mean that they can keep up with us at least, so it's not like, I mean, I could run the Des Moines down, but the Petro is so far out there, you could just run and they'd probably still win. Des Moines, very low health. Again, he's 6,000 health. All he had to do was run. We get Confederate there, and secondaries are still going. Takes them a second to actually hit anything. Oh, and there's the Des Moines. I'm sorry, the Des Moines. There's the Petropavlovsk. And there we go. There is the Des Moines down. So almost full health Petropavlovsk, who has, I believe, a similar top. Actually, I believe it's faster than the Des Moines. Maybe not faster than the Bismarck. But again, all he had to do was run to win. But nope, he wants to show up and fight a Bismarck. Now, his AP does hurt for sure. I'm trying to keep angled enough to where my secondaries can get shots on him. He shows me broadside, and boop! It is not the Petropavlovsk of a few years ago. Eats a citadel there from the front turrets. I turn more steeply in to avoid getting chunked again by his AP. Get the turrets in position. Prepare for the drive-by. Hit the rudder hard over. Guns reload just in time. And hello, Petro. Goodbye, Petro. 30,000 strike there with some citadels in the Petro. So that's how you get a 204,000 damage game in the Bismarck in a Tier 10 game. And you get, well, quite a few medals along the way. And if we check out the team score, this was a 2,400 base XP game in the Bismarck. 1 kill from Kraken 2 there at the end. So guys, that was a fun match. Bit of a nutter of a match. Just wanted to share with you guys, especially for my Tier 8 battleships. Normally challenging time in a Tier 10 game. Every now and then, you still get these fun games. And what used to be, unfortunately, more common games, but with the way that things have devolved at higher tier, not so much anymore. So just want to share that match with you guys. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. Hope you guys have a wonderful Wednesday. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Hope to catch you guys in the next one.